Continue. Gut. So. Dann. So. Das für die Leute, die nicht mehr wissen, was letztes Mal passiert ist bei Higurashi. Ich weiß nicht mehr ganz genau alles, aber auf jeden Fall ist es so, dass Satoku nicht in die Schule gekommen ist. Und Rika ist ein bisschen still und ja. Bei Persona trainieren, ja. Mal schauen, vielleicht. So. Aber erstmal hier, Higurashi, weiter. So. Having heard our friendly banter, Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun walked up and timidly spoke to us. Excuse me, my Bara-san. Sorry to interrupt your fun, but we need your help with something. They grinned dryly and scratched their heads. What could it be? Wanna know how to remove the censor bars in porn magazines? By the way, don't believe what you hear about butter doing the trick, total superstition. You can't use an eraser either. Wait, what? Seriously? That's not what we're here for, said Tomita-kun, elbowing Okamura-kun. Actually, our ball got caught in the gutter on the second floor. We were thinking you might be able to reach it since you're tall. I see. Asking an upperclassman for help comes with its own price, you know. I'm not cheap. You can't buy me out so easily. Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun conversed for a short time, then gave their reply. We'll give you the right to take a nap during class, my Bara-san. How does that sound? What do you mean? I can sleep during class whenever I want. Why do I need your permission for it? Oh, no, you can't. The next time you take a nap, we'll tell Sensei about it. Ah, ha, 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 ha. I see, how sly. You're little. Where did you learn to bargain like that? Grrr. Sorry. It was just a little joke. Come on, Kei-chan. Why not just cave into your underclassmen's threats? And now Mion was getting on my nerves. Suddenly it came to me, and I took Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun's hands. Alright, I surrender. I'll get your ball for you, so give me all the rights to nap time. Ha! Oh, okay. Look, Mion, I now have the privilege, but you don't, do you? Tomita-kun, Okamura-kun. Tell on Mion as soon as she falls asleep. Got it? Yeah! Reina and Rika-chan began to cackle at Keiichi-kun's victory. I wasn't sure how the ball managed to get stuck up there, but it was planted firmly in the school building's second floor gutter. Hand me that stick. I should be able to reach it. Here we go. Ugh. I took a bamboo pole and poked the ball with it. Damn, it's hard. Come on. Oh, he got it. You got it, my Bara-san. Thank you so much. The ball rolled down the gutter and fell down behind the school building. My underclassmen ran over in that direction, leaving me by myself. Mission complete, I guess. Sheesh. There was still a lot of time left until the lunch break was over. Guess I should go back to the classroom. I'd absorb myself in a silly conversation with everyone and wait for afternoon classes. Just when I thought that and turned toward the entrance, someone suddenly called out to me. Hello there, good day. Sorry for bothering you during your lunch break. It was a middle-aged man I didn't know. Or maybe I'd passed by him a few times and I'd seen his face, but I didn't know him. When his half-smile deepened, something within me shuddered with fear. There was no basis for that, no reason, but I shuddered. I was somewhat confused about those emotions, not quite understanding them myself. There was one thing I could say though. Nobody but teachers and students should be at school. This person shouldn't have been here. I felt less of a tremble and more of a sense of dread, like a brilliantly colored, poisonous caterpillar were crawling across my forehead. A feeling of disgust that neither itchy nor gross could describe as the frizzly, dreadful hair rubbed against my brow. I didn't even want to see his face. I wanted to jump backwards and run away. An unpleasant feeling, for which I didn't even know the cause. The other side of myself has nothing but questions. Hey, what are you doing? What are you disgusted by? This is the first time you've met him. It's rude to hate someone not for no reason. No answers were coming. I held my silence, waiting, a damp sweat running down my forehead. When he saw that, Oishi thought maybe he was being intimidating and gave me a relaxed smile. Oh, please excuse me. I'm no one suspicious, I assure you. Oh, I'm Oishi from the Okinomiya Police Department. Wait, where did I put my card? Huh? What? This is... What? He fished through various pockets, then finally found his police ID and showed it to me, grinning dryly. He may have been trying to use those clumsy-seeming actions to ease my anxiety, but I could definitely say it didn't work. Why was I this nervous? There was a reason, of course. If I wanted today to be the same as before, then today didn't need someone who hadn't been here back then. The fact that a man who wasn't here yesterday showed up today meant that today would be a different day than those before it. That would mark the end of the fun and happy days. I gulped and erased that ominous conclusion from my mind. Calm down, Keiichi, my brother. It's just an old guy who looks kinda perverted and came from the police department. Don't go deciding that the fun times are over. He just came here because of his job. Yeah, just for his job. If he's working, then he would normally go to the teacher's lounge, right? The fact that he spoke to me, yes, it must have been to ask where it was. Are you looking for the teacher's lounge? You just have to go through the entrance and... I didn't want to look at this man for another second, so I started pushing things along. Oishi, however, didn't seem to have any interest in the teacher's lounge. Oh no, I don't have anything to do there. Could I get you to call a friend of yours, if I may be so bold? A friend? Who? A girl. Could you call Zatoko Hocho-san for me? My consciousness grew faint, like I was about to pass out. Yes, my anxiety was realized. My dreadful, disgusting caterpillar was looking at me, about to crawl into my ear. Its frizzly, dreadful hair was touching my ear cavity. That's how bad it felt. What do the police need with Satoko? No. It's nothing important. I just had 2 or 3 things to ask. I'd like it if you could cooperate with me. Why? Why, of all people, was it Satoko? Why would a police officer come here in the middle of the day for something that wasn't important? This man was strange. I could smell it, and it smelled bad. Just a whiff of it made me want to grimace. I knew that this man couldn't possibly be here to deliver her lost wallet or anything. I couldn't imagine what he needed from Satoko, but it had to be something unpleasant. Ah, my throat stung with burning pain. Burned like a parched, creviced wasteland. The wasteland broke apart deep in my throat and brought out the words from deep in my mind. You may need something from her, but I don't think Satoko needs anything from you. Could you please leave? Oishi probably hadn't expected that reply. He stood there surprised for a few moments. I did as well. I hadn't thought words like that could ever come out of my mouth. Things might still work out. This guy may have shown up out of the blue, but if I drove him off, maybe I could make it so that it never happened. If I could do that, then I could get back. The peace we had until yesterday. I could get it back. Ah, ha, ha. Well, you sure are strict. Are you Zatoko-san's manager, perhaps? Can I not see her without an appointment? If you just want to talk to her, shouldn't you just call her? Barging into school in the middle of the day isn't normal. Breaking through a dam would have been the perfect analogy to use. Why didn't I like this man? This man shouldn't have been here. I needed to make it so that this man wasn't here. Childish, selfish emotions bubbled up from the depths of my mind, and they each came out of my mouth just as it had been formed. Not liking the guy was my own problem, but to say things so bluntly to him, even I thought I was crazy. Oh, you're the logical sort, aren't you? I'm not too good with people who talk like that. Oishi grinned and scratched at his sweaty throat. Even as he feigned stupidity, I could tell he was irritated. Hey, Keiichi Maebara, why am I looking for a fight with this old policeman here? It's not like he brought the gift of misfortune with him, all wrapped up in paper, right? Right. It wasn't like he had brought a package of misfortune with him and was asking me to sign here, please. Rationally speaking, I understood all that. So then, why was I so? Finally, I outlasted Ueji in our game of silence, and he gave a big sigh. Then he addressed a few of my female underclassmen running around nearby. Oh, excuse me, all of you. Do you have a moment? I'd like you to call Zatoko-san if you could. My underclassmen tried to smile in reply, but they noticed the oddly stiff atmosphere around me, and seemed hesitant to give an quick answer. Is she not here, Zatoko-san? Hocho-san, she stayed home today. Stayed home? His face remained smiling, but his tone was clearly one of ill humor. Such conspicuous spite caused my underclassmen, who had answered honestly, to cringe in fear. I see. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Dear me, I'm quite unlucky. He was smiling broadly, but the way he laughed didn't make me feel better at all. When he noticed that his laugh wasn't getting anyone else to laugh with him, he immediately stopped. So, you girls, could you tell me the name of this boy here? He grabbed the girls by the shoulders so they wouldn't run away, and crouched down to address them at eye level. The girls flinched away from the sharp, piercing light in his eyes. And in exchange for their release, they didn't resist and told him my name. I see. Keiichi Maebara-san, is that it? He said my full name. That was all he said, and yet I couldn't help but shudder. It was like he grabbed me by the collar just with those words. Oh, could you be the son of the Maebara family I've heard so much about? Ah, ha, ha. I hear your father is a renowned artist. His works go on display twice a year in the Great Ariake exhibition in Tokyo, don't they? I don't know what sort of fantastic pictures he creates, though. Then there's your mother. She seems intelligent, too. I heard she was a high academic achiever. She went to some girls' university, didn't she? It's amazing for someone that age to have graduated from a girls' university. Could your mother actually be the daughter of a respectable family? At least those are the rumors, and they say she's a cold person because of it. Did you know that? She only went to the very first neighborhood association meeting, right? That's certainly no good. You can't disrespect your neighbors in a place like this. A sense of eeriness slithered up my spine. That was my first experience of true terror. I couldn't believe it felt this terrible. For someone you've just met to know everything about you already. Oishi clamped onto my shoulders and brought his eyes close to peer into mine. In a place like this, it wouldn't be far better not to make enemies, wouldn't it? If not... Ah! Oishi dug into my shoulders with inhuman strength. Gah! Then if something unexpected were to happen, you might see some drawbacks. Have you ever heard of karma? It's like how a butterfly flapping its wings can cause a tornado. Grudges born in strange places could come back to you in ways you wouldn't believe. You wouldn't like that, would you? No. Nobody wants to have a grudge held against them. There's nothing positive about making enemies. What's the matter? Your shoulders are very stiff. Should I give you a massage? See, feels good, right? Ow. Ow, ow, ow! This man wasn't just strong, it was like he knew exactly where to press to make me feel pain. Only 4 or 5 fingers were on my shoulders, and yet the pain made me want to bend over backwards. A few of the girls from my class were pretty shaken up, but didn't seem to want to help me. They weren't sure if they should go call the teacher. As for me, I couldn't take the time to wait until the teacher got here. It hurts. Would you mind leaving things at that? You're hurting him. Behind Oishi-san, someone, to my disbelief, it was Coach. Oh my, if it isn't Dr. Irie. It certainly has been a while since we were last in touch. Discomforted by Coach's sudden appearance, Oishi laughed scornfully. The eyes on my shoulders, however, remained as strong as ever. Never mind the greetings, please. Just let go of my Barakun. Oishi smiled daringly and glared straight at Coach. He didn't release me in the meantime, of course. I was just thinking of stopping by your place later, Doctor. You always seem so busy and we can never have a good chat. Yes. If you want, I'll chat with you all you like. But please, be sure to have a warrant first. After all, otherwise, I can refuse to go voluntarily into questioning. Coach didn't display a shred of the weird behavior he'd shown at the baseball game and barbecue. He stared steadily at Oishi and fought so that he would release me. His chances were terribly bad, of course. Compared to the relaxed Oishi, Coach seemed like he was being defeated mentally. It made sense. Coach had a somewhat narrow stature, but Oishi's body was packed with muscles. It wasn't even a contest. But Coach was fighting for me without taking a step back. Beads of sweat formed on his face, and though he paled, he was fighting for my sake. Suddenly she laughed and let go of my shoulders. My body exhausted, I fell right onto my backside. My Barakun, are you alright? Damn it! Ow! I rubbed my shoulders where Oishi had latched onto them. The pain from falling over went away quickly, but this pain was lingering. Are you alright, my Barakun? This is terrible. Shit! Ow, ow! I was just giving a little massage. My Barazan, aren't you exaggerating a bit? Boys have gotta learn to man up. I wanted to retort, but I couldn't think of anything witty. Can you lift your shoulders? Are they in pain? If you're really hurt, then you should have a proper checkup. Let's just go to the nurse's office. Coach lent me his shoulder and walked beside me. What an exaggeration! I'd be the last person to do any sort of permanent damage, right? I am still an active police officer, you know. Come, I don't know what you needed to be here for, but you're finished, then please leave. I'm going to complain about this directly to the chief, so please keep that in mind. Oh, that's a problem, ain't it? Oishi-san waved his hand sarcastically, pivoted around, and headed to the car parked by the school gates. And without turning back around, he got in and started the engine. Damn it. Who the hell was he? Damn it. He's a detective named Kurado Oishi. And a hooligan. Everyone in the village hates him. Abara-san should be careful too. Kurado Oishi. Just like I thought. My gut instinct wasn't wrong. He would be the one. The one to bring unhappiness, misfortune, something that would ruin our peace. Shit. I won't accept it. All these fun days can't possibly end just because some guy like him showed up. I won't accept it. Coach seemed to be familiar with the school, so he brought me to the nurse's office without much trouble. The girls from my class came along as well, looking worried. Our teacher and the principal, having noticed the disturbance, came to see what was the matter. My Barakun, what's wrong? Are you hurt? Well, there was this weird man in the schoolyard just now, and my Bara-san. Coach gently interrupted the girls, trying to explain. No, it looks like he just fell and twisted something. I think he's alright, but I wanted to make sure. If it's fine with you, I'll borrow the nurse's office for a bit. Please do, Dr. Eri. The principal gave him a deep bow. It looked like Coach was acquainted with the adults at school. He slid open the doors to the nurse's office, but there wasn't a nurse in there or anything. I'd figured. I'd never seen anyone but Chie-sensei and the principal working here. Coach didn't seem to mind the fact that there was no nurse and quickly made his way into the nurse's office. He instructed me to sit down and started washing his hands in the sink. Oh, I get it. He's the coach for the boys' baseball team. He must be pretty used to treating wounds with first aid. Could you show me where it was? Are you still in pain? No, it doesn't hurt at all anymore. I'm fine, really. I rolled up my shirt and showed him my shoulder. No bruise, not even nail marks. And yet it had hurt so much I thought my shoulders would be crushed. Even the pain had disappeared without a trace. It hurts so much, but there isn't a single bruise. It just means he's used to doing that. Used to it, huh? The next time you meet, don't provoke him. Nothing good will come of making him angry. If you go home with a uniformed policeman by your side, your family won't like that, will they? Well, you're right. Still, what happened? Why did you end up in a fight with him? He came up and said he needed something from Satoko. Ah, Satoko-chan. Coach's gaze lowered and his expression clouded a bit. Somehow that gesture seemed to be saying Oishi was bound to come to Satoko, and did, and that it was no laughing matter. Coach fell silent in thought. Quietly, he took a compress out of the first aid kit and put it on me. Does he still plan on clinging to Satoko-chan? He's a persistent man, I give him that, like a snake. Snack! Coach mumbled to himself. Cling? Does the Oishi guy go to Satoko's place a lot? Coach didn't answer, but the lack of a denial served well enough. What on earth did the policeman, probably a detective or something, need from Satoko? What mistake had led a detective to cling to the sweetly smiling Satoko? My bar is on. Oh, right. You just moved here, didn't you? Yes, I did, but... Have you heard anything about Uyashiro-sama's curse and about Satoko-chan? While I knew a few things about it, certainly. Satoko's parents were damn proponents, and the accidental death was because of the curse. You mean that? Coach smiled thinly and dryly. So you know, he said, dropping his gaze. If I recalled correctly, there was an accident on a viewing platform at the public park she'd gone to with her family, and her parents died. And then it was just a big brother and little sister. And then she was with Rika-chan, and when they lost their parents, Satoko-chan and her brother Satoshi-kun were given to their uncle and his wife to care for them. Oh, is that so? The parents died in the accident, and Satoshi ran away, leaving only Satoko to start living with Rika-chan. I'd known that much, but this was the first time I heard they'd been brought to their uncle and aunt. Their uncle was Satoko-chan's father's younger brother. Unfortunately, neither of the couple were people deserving of respect. Coach normally picked his words politely. So, when he came out and said that they didn't deserve respect, it really made me wonder what kind of people they were. As soon as Satoko-chan's parents came out in support of the dam, their uncle and aunt took on a lot of the shame in the village as well. They would never have welcomed in Satoko-chan. They would never have. Moment. Erstmal was trinken. They would never have welcomed in Satoko-chan and Satoshi-kun. I've heard that for the siblings it was a very rough life. Bit by bit, Coach told me about the numerous agonies the Hojo siblings had suffered at their uncle's house. As their guardians, their aunt and uncle sucked up everything belonging to their immediate family. Satoko and Satoshi were crammed into a small room, and their lives were laden with things that were miserable both for their bodies and minds. In the first place, since apparently their aunt and uncle weren't on good terms, there was no end to their fighting. And as if in revenge for that, whenever they saw Satoko or Satoshi's face, they would always find fault with them, scold them, yell at them, strike them, and take away meals as punishment. I still shudder to think about it. You've never known any Satoko, but the energetic and healthy one now. So you probably couldn't imagine her face being so deathly pale, a girl always standing dazed in the shade of trees. I couldn't imagine it, and I didn't want to. That was how I honestly felt. But at the very least, Satoko wasn't like that anymore. She may have had a miserable life in the past, but it was different now. Something happened to change that life. Last year, on the night of the Watanagashi festival, their aunt died. She was beaten to death with a baseball bat by a drug addict. Rumors spread of the curse having killed an enemy of the village on the night of the festival. This death wasn't a simple homicide either. They whispered that it was actually Oyashiro-sama's curse. A few days later, the deviant arrested for drug use confessed to further offenses and the incident was resolved. However, though it was resolved, no one knew whether the part about it being Oyashiro-sama's curse was true or not. Their uncle is part of Hinamizawa after all. He apparently grew incredibly frightened of Oyashiro-sama's curse and went into hiding. From what I've heard, he's staying with a lover somewhere in Okinomiya. And Satoko and Satoshi, were they released? Their aunt died and their uncle fled. There was nobody left to torment the siblings then, but as if picking up their torch, that man started showing up with alarming tenacity. That man? Then Coach lowered his voice just a bit as if being aware of his surroundings. I mean, Oishi. Oishi. The guy from before. The events that just occurred came back to me. The hard to describe, ominous sensation I'd felt from him came back to me. He's a little strange. The chain of incidents surrounding Oyashiro-sama's curse have all been solved, and yet he alone doesn't want to accept that. Accept it? The incidents were all solved, and a detective supposedly with the police department didn't accept that. People say that something bad will surely happen to those who he gets. Nee. Ich kann heute mal wieder nicht lesen. People say that something bad will surely happen to those he gets close to. In Hinamizawa, they think Oishi is Oyashiro-sama's. Kei-chan! The door flew open with a rattle and Mion came rushing in. Reina and Rika-chan came running in a few steps behind her, and then Tomita-kun, Okamura-kun, and a few more of our classmen. Kei-chan, did Oishi do something to you? Are you hurt? Calm down, Mion-san. He's not injured. I only gave him a compress just in case. Keiichi-kun, are you really okay? Okay. Everyone was saying stuff about how you were being strangled. Calm down, Reina. Just squeezed my shoulders really hard. See, there's not even a bruise. Meep. Jeez. What the heck were you all doing? We're friends, right? Why were you just standing around? Why didn't you help Kei-chan? We're sorry, President. Mion yelled at our classmates, baring her fangs. Tomita-kun and the others hung their heads in silence. Where did Mion? Tomita-kun and the others weren't even there. Stop blaming them. Damn it! Oishi! Mion kicked the floor with her heel a few times, her temper running hot. Our teacher, overhearing the commotion, arrived as well. Hey, come on everyone, don't make so much noise in the nurse's office. President, take everyone and leave, please. Come on everyone, let's get going. Keiichi-kun is fine. You too, Mi-chan. Mion was letting her emotions get the best of her, so Reina stepped in instead and let everyone out of the nurse's office. The detective from Okinomiya Station, Kurado Oishi. It looked like the first impression I'd gotten from him hadn't been mistaken. Satoko's absence had amplified the vague apprehensions I'd felt since yesterday, and Oishi's appearance basically sealed the deal. Alright, I'll get going. I originally came here for Chie-sensei. Ah, so you had something to do here. Sorry for causing you trouble. Don't be so humble, he said, smiling easily. There was a side benefit to all this. I was lucky enough to experience so much of your soft, silky skin, my Barakun. With the usual, for Coach anyway, parting words, he instead continued. Please excuse me. You weren't wounded badly, but please avoid putting pressure on your shoulders or anything along those lines. If you get a high fever or it starts to swell, contact me right away, okay? I don't think it'll happen though. Oh, that's right, Coach. Before everyone came in, you were going to say something about what people think Oishi is to Oyashiro-sama. As he was about to leave the nurse's office, Coach placed a hand on the door and stopped. Right. They think he's Oyashiro-sama's servant. They're just bad-mouthing him, though. Oyashiro-sama's servant? You know about the serial freak death incidents that occur in Hinamizawa every year on the night of the Watanagashi festival, otherwise known as Oyashiro-sama's curse. What? Freak deaths? What? Now that I thought about it, I did seem to remember overhearing Mion or someone in class talking about it like a ghost story. On a festival day in June, one person would always die. And another person would be spirited away, but they seem to call it demoning away here. What a fine story that was. I figured they made it up to scare me, but it was true. I don't have any idea who first suggested this, but at some point everyone started calling Oishi Oyashiro-sama's servant. Why? Because the rumors go that he decides the sacrifice for the curse every year. Whenever June came around, Oishi would start paying frequent visits to Hinamizawa, because Oishi had been persistently questioning most of the dead or disappeared people. 4 years ago, it was known that the victim of the dismemberment, rumored to be the sacrifice, had been seeing Oishi numerous times leading up to the incident. The sacrifices 3 years ago were Satoko's parents, right before their accidental deaths. Oishi had apparently visited their home. The one who disappeared 2 years ago was Rika-chan's mother, and again people know that before she vanished, Oishi had been talking to her extremely frequently. The one who disappeared last year, Satoko's older brother, Satoshi too had apparently been approached by Oishi many times before he vanished. And then, this year, this time Oishi was trying to contact Satoko. This isn't a freaking joke. There are rumors, maybe, Maebara-san. There's just some rumors to that effect. I hadn't said that because of the rumors of Oishi being Oyashiro-sama's servant, or his contacting someone foreshadowing who would be the sacrifice that year. It was because the ominous hatred I felt towards Oishi was becoming more sustained, more real. Today, Satoko, she was absent today, wasn't she? Wait, really? That looked like news to Coach. I had thought he might known why Satoko was absent today, but then I'll get going. You should go back to the others and put their minds at ease. You're right, I will. Hello, Queenie. Clatter. Coach left the nurse's office and headed towards the teacher's lounge. Ist zur richtigen Zeit gekommen. Higurashi ist für heute fertig. Neue Tipps, yay! Oishi's Post-Memo. Better left untold. Safe. Kapitel 5 zu Ende. Noch ein Kapitel, dann haben wir die Hälfte geschafft. Ich muss sagen, die jetzige Arc, also Tatarigoroshi-hen, ist irgendwie neben der ersten, die klassische Higurashi Story ist die Geschichte hier irgendwie meine liebste, warum auch immer. Auch wenn sie ein bisschen sehr komisch ist. Beziehungsweise ein bisschen sehr merkwürdig ist. So gegen Ende hin kommen dann Fragen auf, die ich nicht beantworten kann. Im Moment zumindest nicht. Mal schauen. Vielleicht irgendwann. Aber ja, ist sehr, sehr schönes Kapitel.